Hey guys, welcome to the Drift Podcast. I'm your host Travis, and I have with me
Ben.
And today we are talking about Ebisu and drifting there. But first, news.
So,
what drift events?
You said Formula Drift is coming up.
Formula Drift Texas? I'm pretty sure it's Texas. This weekend, I saw, the only reason I know is because I saw the live notifications on YouTube.
We've also got Glory Days coming up at Port Macquarie. I'm pretty sure this weekend. If not, it's next weekend. But check it out. If you're in that area, go watch it. There's heaps of cool drivers coming up from New South Wales and Victoria, and heaps of cool drivers coming down from Queensland. So it'll be a rad event to go and watch because, who doesn't like to see cool cars with big kits, loaded kits up?
Totally.
Hoonigan brought out the next level drift videos with, unfortunately, not enough footage of Ty, but you know.
Yeah, he was in it for like half a second where he almost got hit by
a flying
Hertz, Hertz wing on his BMW, but we didn't even have him doing a shoey at all, so there was no Australian culture in it whatsoever, which is sad. But other than that, it was a good video.
Oh, it was an amazing video. Definitely showcased a heap of the cars there. There was a bit of Thai driving in that, actually, which was really cool.
Yep.
And also, there's a few related videos that'll probably pop up when you start watching it. And
Hoonigan has that extras channel. I haven't watched anything on there, but they've got the extras channel, and there's probably heaps more of Thai and the event in general on there. I wanted them to show way more of that RX-7. You could really hear it in that video.
I was just like, they tried talking, and also just like,
and
this is really loud.
On it was just like, that thing's awesome. Absolutely awesome.
It was rad.
It definitely deserves a second mention. Other than that, another awesome video got released about drifting, and it's topic related, actually. So Juicebox for You, they're an Irish group of guys. They get featured on Speed Hunters all the time with their shed. So it's just a massive shed, which is, I guess, in America, they call that a garage.
I guess. Warehouse.
I don't know. A warehouse. Whatever. There's heaps of cars there, and they work on them. They do a YouTube channel that mostly focuses on the one of the guys' 8.6 builds, and awesome YouTube channel. I'd nearly say it's probably one of the best car build channels on YouTube, just because it's probably not mostly about car building, because that shit's boring as fuck.
Yeah, so 10 out of 10 entertaining.
Yeah, but it's actually entertaining because they're hilarious and Irish. So
that just says it all right there.
And they light shit on fire and drink a lot, and that's pretty much the show. So, but it's awesome. Totally worth checking out. But they went to Japan in 2016, and they went there to film one of their local drivers who was shipping his car over for the King of Nations event that went down at Ebisu, that was hosted by our local Luke Fink over there. And unfortunately, their plan fell through. The car got stuck in the docks in Tokyo and never actually made it to Ebisu. So they were there for the 2 weeks holiday that they had planned, but they had no plan because everything fell through.
Yeah, everything went out the window.
They were there to make a documentary about the local car going there. So it's 100% worth checking out this video. It goes on from street drifting, multiple types of street drifting. So you have your typical like toge street drifting over there that is super hard to find. I've never personally seen it on any times that I've been over there. I've heard lots about it, and I've met people that do it, but I've never seen it. It's really rare. It's actually really rare these days, and you got to know the right people or be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah,
and there are that
like
many
how they
mountains.
were.
Like Japan is literally mountains. Like that's just what it is. Like it's not flat.
No.
So they could be anywhere on there, and they're not going to be in those hot spots because that's where the cops will be.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's super hard to find, and they were lucky enough that they did find someone. Again, this was 2 years ago, and I would say it's even scarcer now because the cops really cracked down on it about 2 years ago over there. And the other street drifting they saw was like the docks style
the industrial
highway
drifting, which was probably my favorite part of the whole video. Just seeing the big boy J's and X's.
Those were big boy J's and X's as well. They weren't stock. Like, they were cool.
It's like, doesn't matter if there's trucks or anything. They're just full sending it in. Yeah. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, that was that real, like, modern street drifting.
Yeah, like the 2001... I've got
I've watched so many videos from that era. Yeah, like your 90s stuff is all that toge stuff. Yeah, and then your 2000s is just total like industrial
Yokohama,
estate, like,
Bay Area. Yeah, classic big Toyotas. I loved it. It made my lunch break that much better.
Yeah, and so they also went to like up garages. They hired an L Grand and it's an L Grand.
No, they bought it.
Oh, yeah, sorry, they bought it
off Yahoo.
Yeah, which is just unheard of. You don't do that. Like, I don't know why they did that. They must have had a connection to be able to do that for them, who was probably helping them with the documentary.
Probably.
But, because there was 5 of them that they said that were over there. It wasn't just the 2 main guys from the juice box. Other than that, they went to Ebisu for the King of Nations event, but they mentioned that no one was really there spectating, which was unfortunate, because, like, Naoki was there, Daigo was there. There was some big names drifting.
Maybe because it wasn't such a...
It's hard to get to.
Yeah, it's a hard to get to place, and then also it wasn't set up by someone local in Japan.
I think the biggest reason is it was in July, and it's damn hot in July. True. So I'd say that's probably a big leading reason. There's not a lot of people going on holiday to Japan in summertime, because it's either going to be boiling hot, or you're going to have typhoons like they have had recently. That's all you get.
Yeah.
So other than that, they went to the RX-7 day, which was the 7th of the 7th. And you have to remember that about if you do go to Japan. Look up the dates, because, if you're going, and you've got to go by American dates, because that's what Japanese go by. So if you're in Australia and it's the 2nd of the 3rd, that's their 3rd of the 2nd. And their 3rd of the 2nd is R32 day. So if you go to Daikoku Futo, and I was twisting my words, if you go there on that day, it's just going to be full of R32s. I don't know about S13 day. I don't know if that's a thing, but 8-6 day is a massive one. That is massive in August. Like, Daikoku just fills with 8-6s. And you can go to actual track days. You go to Fuji on the 8th of the 6th. You go to Scuba, even Ebisu and stuff like that. They'll all have like their own thing. You just got to look up which one has it. But they'll have a special event just for 8-6s or whatever day you go there. And that is 100% worth like trying to time an event up for. Definitely. Other than that, what else are they doing now? I'm trying to remember.
Well, they stumbled across some one-gun races from back in the day as well.
Yes. Like I was explaining this to my girlfriend that these were the cars that made for the Wangan Midnight Games and everything, and crazy like to see them. And the biggest thing that I find about them is they use the branding and stuff on their cars to advertise. Like, most of those guys are like shop owners or shop workers. Yeah, like
the owner from I can't remember Top Secret. No, it wasn't. That wasn't Smokey.
That
was
on that
video. Yeah, he was just chilling there in the demo car on the one gun. I'm like, that's cool. Like, that'd never happen here.
Yeah, it started with B. I can't remember the name.
Yeah.
The gold car.
It was cool.
Yeah, the bronzy gold. Cool. Yeah, but there's still that 2000 style of car, and they still look the same. Like, they still 100% look the same. And it was so interesting seeing that. That's actually a place that I never would have thought of going, mostly because I just go over there for drifting. I wouldn't have even thought to look for the Wangan Midnight type cars. Those 300 kilometer an hour through the tunnel speed breakers. Amazing that they got to see those. And they went to Daikoku Futo, and they said that is really hard to get to, and that is true. It is a pain in the ass. unless you have my app, which is JDM Maps X, and you can get there through that. But that's a plug, by the way.
Shameless plug.
But yeah, you can, if you have an iPhone or an iPad, you can download that app, and it does show you all like the circuits, museums, Daikoku, Tatsumi, and heaps of other places. So you can look up that on the App Store, JDM Maps. Just search for that. It'll also show you like the up garages and stuff. But I think the biggest thing that like really holds true about what they said about Daikoku, and what you could kind of notice is, and they mentioned it a little bit, is that Daikoku is really hard to get to. And as you're driving along, you'll just see these random shops, and you go. They went to that car sales place that was super amazing.
Oh yeah, with the
is it Advanced Auto or something like that? It's something like Global
something
Auto or something.
Oh, Global Auto is the big
car yard.
No, but
that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, the little shop that they discovered on the way through at the start of the video as well. We're like, the old guy has like 3 GDRs and like a Hakosuka and it was like
you see them like I'll drive past so many little shops like that. They won't be as amazing as that, but they will have like S13s out the front, or just a whole heap of RX-7s in their yard, and you're just like, what is the story with this place? But you will spot those kind of ones. But all of these shops over there they're just on the corner of a random street, like they're not easily able to find. And that's why having something like the app that I made is so important, because you don't know what's around you. You could be like say in the middle of Tokyo, and for all you know, Top Secret could be around the corner from you, and you wouldn't have a clue. Absolutely wouldn't have a clue. Whereas my app shows you what's around you, and that's just so beneficial over there. Like, and I made it for me originally. Like, it's made for me, so it's something that I use over there. Because when I first went over there, I had planned these certain places that I wanted to go, and then it was just so difficult to find anything else. Like, I'd be driving along on the highway, and you just drive past all these cool places, and you're like, I didn't know they were there.
Yeah.
So I wanted a way to get them. But that's my plug for the day anyway. So if you want to check that out, it's on the iPhone App Store. It's not on Android, but it's on the iPhone and iPad. So check it out and let us know what you think. But other than that, like, it's really difficult to find things, and they showed that a lot in that video. There was a true representation, I think, of what it's actually like to go over there without a plan. And so many of their things like were bad, and then they immediately got amazing. Yeah, and that has happened to me so often over there. Like, I've never met a person who went to Japan on a car trip that had a bad time. There's always something to do. Like, and I compare that to Korea, where there was nothing. Like, I saw like 2 cars the whole trip with an exhaust and wheels, like in the whole of Korea that I visited, and you compare that to Japan, and you'll hop off the plane, go to your motel, and on the way to your motel, you'll probably pass 4 Evos, a body JZX 100, and probably a brand new GDR. Like, you can get that in Australia too, but
not to that
extent.
The
same. Like, it's just mind blowing seeing the stuff in the wild. Like,
for sure.
It's not as full on as what you might think, though. There's not modified cars everywhere. You're not going to walk down the street and there's 1,000 drift cars. You just gonna notice it when it stands out, because that's a part of their culture, is standing out. So anything different does stand out like that, so you'll notice it. That's the difference. It's not everywhere, you just notice it. Other than that, like, definitely check out the Juice Box for You
we'll
video.
link it on our Facebook page.
We'll put it on, we'll share it, because, man,
it was an awesome video.
Awesome. Other than that, the only other really good one that I can think of that comes to mind is the Driftworks Outsiders video from
Oh,
years
the-
ago
yeah,
about Japan.
Driftworks
That is
Outsider movie.
100% must watch. But
Yeah.
it's years ago, you know, a lot's changed over there
Yeah,
in
exactly.
this time. It's not as easy.
Yeah, that would have been like 5 years ago now, wouldn't it have been?
Easily.
Because I remember
easily.
that coming
Yeah.
out when I was still in Germany, and
Yeah, and it probably took him a year to edit it. you
yeah,
know,
like that
so,
was
like,
mind-boggling when it came out. I was
yeah,
like, wow.
yeah. I think that was a lot of people's first seeing is like, whoa.
Yeah, like
I want to
first
go do
big,
that. you
bigger
know?
production, like proper
Yeah.
film type thing. Yeah, no, it was
Yeah.
very cool.
As far as Ebisu videos go, check out Scott Mitchell Media. Like his 12-minute hit and run DC Ebisu videos.
Yeah, that was a good
are,
one.
Like, I honestly, I'll probably watch them once or twice a year before, as I'm like trying to hype myself up on going, as I'm like staring at the price of plane tickets and looking at the bank account. I'll watch that and be like, yeah, I'm coming back. Like, because it is 100% what it's like. Like his hit and run DC, the first video, hit and run DC goes to Japan Ebisu video. My trips are exactly like that, like down to a T. Like it captures it perfectly what it is like to go to Ebisu, like absolutely perfectly. And I'm in one of his later videos as well. Another plug, but
Hey, all
the dude's a
plugs
rad
today.
dude, and his videos are insane. And
he
you
is,
probably know him from some other videos that he's done anyway. Yeah, he went over to America and did a big trip over there, and that was really cool. Check out all his stuff, Scott Mitchell Media on YouTube. Definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, 110%.
Other than that, is there any general stuff about Ebisu or Japan that you can think of? Like, I don't know how much I want to get into talking about Japan itself. I think that almost deserves an episode on its
Yeah,
own.
definitely.
I'd rather
It's a
talk
bigger
about
subject.
Ebisu
Yeah, so
itself at the moment and go from there. Like,
yeah, let's
just go straight on to Ebisu.
sort of get into Ebisu. So
So
yeah, Ebisu is like
it's
a
it's
big
the
complex.
Mecca. Yeah,
It's
it's
just-
the mecca of drifting. Like that's where
Yeah.
everyone should go. Like everyone should experience Ebisu. If you're into drifting, you gotta go. Like at some point in your life. And honestly, it kills me to know that people can't afford to do drifting there because it's damn expensive, as you'll find out if you
Yeah.
don't already know by me in this episode. But there's a big difference between driving Ebisu and watching Ebisu. Like,
Oh, I can
there
imagine.
is like no comparison. I'm sure it's great to go watch, but I've never gone to watch. Like, and I think
Could you just like, could you seriously go that far and then stand, a meter off the track when
Yeah.
you're that close to it?
and they're cracking down on passenger rules there too. So you're not allowed in passenger on the two big tracks, the two fast tracks.
I think that's a fair thing though, because people are just getting ridiculous.
Yep.
Like-
It's not just that; it's the accidents that people.
Yeah,
have
that's what I
had.
mean. Like they're getting ridiculously fast coming down there,
Yeah.
and then the rollovers at the back,
Yeah.
dirt hill.
Yeah. It's
I
the
just-
rollovers that really hurt people. People.
Yeah, because you're in a stock car, no cage, and you're gonna hit a wall at like 130.
or roll onto the roof and
yeah.
up the embankments and stuff. And that's why it's like it's a must-have to. I think one thing I forgot to write on the list was safety stuff, and we might as well get into that.
Yeah, let's
Bring
start
your
that off.
own helmet. Bring your own helmet. Like, and don't buy one of the $50 Japanese ones. It's not worth it. Like,
No.
you're on holidays. The insurance company is not going to cover you for drifting.
No,
110%.
Yeah, that's
They
the
will
other thing
fight
is,
that
like,
to the death of them.
check
Like,
your travel insurance and see what it
it's not
covers.
covered.
Because
it is
like,
not covered.
yeah, when I
There's
went to
no
Germany,
specific thing written in there that says
Yeah.
going drifting at Ebisu.
No,
so you're
so-
not covered. You're covered if you go snowboarding.
well, you see, my insurance didn't even cover me snowboarding when I went overseas.
Specific ones do.
Yeah, so
But
yeah, like
But just remember that like you fell down the stairs if you get in an accident, like, because your insurance company ain't covering you.
No.
So you fell down the stairs out the front of Ebisu. Just remember that. But
just
buy-
ask them to carry you there and throw you down the stairs. You'll be right.
buy or bring. If you're going back a second time, or if you even have the thought of going back a second time, bring and leave a helmet there with you, and like buy one in your home country and bring it with you. If not, if you're only going once, and definitely only going once, bring your good helmet with you and take it back home. Simple as that. Like, and it has to be full face.
Yeah, that's
No
actually
questions
on their
asked.
website now.
Yeah, it's a requirement now, but
so
it's needed.
Yeah.
You don't want your face caving in, and you shouldn't be running an open face even in normal situations. Your face hits the steering wheel, because our cars don't have airbags because we're not stupid, and your face hits that steering wheel, your face is crushed. And that has happened at Ebisu, and that is why they have the rules. Bring a full face helmet that is high quality like racing proven helmet, you know? Don't buy a $40 one from Aldi or something, you know? Like, just don't do it. Buy a proper one, you know?
Definitely.
You only get one face. Like,
pretty much.
Other than that, I highly suggest having a roll cage, and like buying the car over there and organizing with Power Vehicles to get a roll cage sent, and you just fit it when you get there. You know, spend the half day. Another big one, when you get your car, as soon as you get there, jack it up, put it on 4 stands, and go over every single suspension arm bolt every single time you go. And you should probably do it halfway through the week as well, because stuff gets loose and you ignore it and you keep driving around it, and then that spits you into a wall, and then your week is over.
Yeah.
So they're probably the two.
That's a big thing just in general on drift cars, to be honest.
Yeah,
like,
but it's more important there when you're drifting.
Yeah.
So often, you know, like if you notice something on your way home from your one-day drift event, you'll get home and fix it.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're just drifting for 7 days straight, you're going to be like, nah, I'm just going to keep driving around it, you know.
Yeah.
So keep on top of that. Those 3 things, they're the biggest 3 safety issues at Ebisu. Unlike other tracks, you don't have to wear gloves, and you do have to put your windows up, but no one does, from memory.
Is it windows up?
Every single Japanese track, windows up, gloves, long sleeves, long pants. That's not required at Ebisu.
I couldn't do that,
That's not required at Ebisu. It's pretty lax, you know.
That's
so,
good.
and that's even in the middle of summer, and we'll get more on the summer later. But
yes, I've heard all about this multiple times.
But you know, if you're drifting at Nikko in summer, it's windows up, full like wrist.
You're allowed to have your passenger window
clothing.
halfway if you don't have a passenger in the car.
I don't know exactly.
I'm pretty sure Alexi
they've
brought
changed
that
a
up,
lot of
so.
rules at Nikko after that person died.
Yeah, but
so stuff's gotten
wasn't-
strict the whole way through Japan with drift events now. Like, it's nowhere near as lax as it was before. But Ebisu, they're one of the most lax ones in Japan. But don't take your own safety for granted, and don't push the limit, because then they won't be lax anymore.
Yeah,
you know?
it's sort of don't push what you shouldn't push.
It's just don't be dumb. Like, that's the biggest one about Ebisu. Is just don't be dumb. If you wouldn't do it in your home country, don't do it there.
Yeah,
that's
common
a big
sense,
one.
really.
Yeah, and we'll go a bit more onto that later as well. Don't forget to ask me about that one because I didn't write it down. Is like etiquette.
Yeah, I'll bring that up towards the end.
Yeah. Okay. Start me off with the questions.
So let's start off from the beginning of your trip. So you land, right, and you go to Ebisu. Now, some of the things that you told me about your last Japan trip, or one of them, I can't remember, was tools and certain spare parts.
Yes.
Because you told me that it's not exactly the easiest thing to find.
Yeah, and we went through a little bit of this with Jay. So if you're thinking about going to Japan, listen to our episode. It's not a video, it's only on the podcast, but with Jay, and we go through a bit more detail in the parts side of things. But tools to bring as much as you can, but remember, I would probably leave it there, purely because you want to bring parts from Up Garage or whatever home with you.
Yeah.
So don't bring your main tools. Buy tools, spanners, sockets, not a hammer, it's too heavy, but like general little tools like that, screwdrivers, pliers, a multi-tool. I've got a multi-tool I keep on my belt the whole time when I'm over there, even while I'm out on track. It's saved me multiple times. I buy in a little 12-volt air compressor because it's really hard to get onto the compressor. So basically, there's only one tire filling compressor line at Ebisu. So I bought it when I was over there, but I bought a 12-volt compressor. No one else had one. I was the only one that was there that had one, and everyone's like, "That's amazing. Why didn't we think of that?" But I've been there multiple times, so I learnt my lesson the first few times that I need that. But that's a big one. I think it was like $90, and it was worth every cent. I wanted a big one, I wanted like a 4-wheel drive one, but they only had this little one. Places to buy tools, Astro Tools. I'm pretty sure it's called Astro Tools. They're almost everywhere in major cities. So hop off the plane when you're in Tokyo, go to an Astro on your way up to Ebisu. Get as many tools as you can that are more specialized. If you want to get like your breaker bar there, you want to get like anything that you forgot to bring or couldn't fit in your luggage. You need a multimeter, you need a test light. Don't forget about electrical issues. Breaker bar, wheel nut sockets and stuff like that. And remember that sometimes they're a little bit odd over there. You know, if you haven't seen the car that you're buying before, maybe it's got mismatched wheel nuts all over it. Buy like the 3-pack of the different ones. They sell them at Astro.
Yeah.
Buy a little tool bag to put it all in because you'll leave it in the car. Tools wise, a big hammer always helps. Always. If you can't fix it with a hammer, you got an electrical problem. So
I can fix electrical problems with a hammer, guys.
But yeah,
got to that point more than once.
Other than that, I can't really think of much other tools that you need, but whatever you use in Australia, you're probably going to need it there. And don't expect that Power Vehicles is going to lend it out to you, because they're not anymore. Like, people are stealing tools or not giving them back. They've cut down their tool usage so much that it's pretty much a no.
Yeah.
So which is fair enough, because
it's fair, but it's sad that it's gotten to that point.
Everyone else ruined it.
Yeah, and that's what
everyone
I'm saying.
else's fault.
It's a fair ruling, but you know, it's sad that it's gotten to that point now.
You know, Power Vehicles is a small team. You can't they can't keep on top of that kind of stuff easily.
And what they do is they have an amazing service. The least you could do is not steal stuff from the people that are helping you. You know, it's just
that's more of an etiquette thing. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, it's sad. So now spares that you should bring because of your lovely experience with Nissan.
So the biggest thing over there is you can't easily buy parts. So if you want to go and buy, I don't know, let's say a fuel filter, that you could go down to Super Cheap Persons, wherever. In America, the Advanced Auto Parts, whatever they
O'Reilly's
use,
and stuff
Napa
like that.
and all that, Napa or whatever it's called. That stuff, you cannot buy anything that's in those shops in Japan. You have to have your rego slip to go and do it. And you don't have that because your car's not regoed. So good luck to you. They will not serve you unless you can prove that you own the car, because they're so worried. You can give them part numbers. They won't sell it to you because they want to check and verify that it suits your car. So imagine if your car has an engine swap, then you get real confused. It just doesn't work. You can't buy parts. You have to bring them with you. You can buy oil, but if it's winter time, like when I go there, you can pretty much only buy 5 weight and 0 weight, and that is no damn good for a drift car. So, Power Vehicles does sell oil, but last year it ran out because no one else had oil, and they wanted 15 weight. I would have wanted like 20 or 25, but I was stuck with 15 weight that I found in Tokyo at some random Bunnings type place in the lawnmower section. And hey,
it's an RB20, it's fine.
Yeah, well, it might as well be an SR, and then go to the tractor section. But anyway, the point of the matter is, is I went to buy more of it when I was close to Ebisu. You can't. There is nothing higher or like thicker than 5 weight. You might find 10. And I think I did at some random place, and I ended up using that, and I was like, I was hurting pouring that into that poor car.
Hey, 10 and 15 makes 13, man. It's
no, I had to drain the oil.
Oh god.
So like I'm just putting in straight 10 into this poor 25-year-old RB20 that I've copped abuse for like a month straight. So
that poor car, man.
I don't even know how many Ks are on that thing, but
we'll probably triple the amount since you let it free boost for a while.
Yeah, we'll do
it's
that.
Fun.
It made good power when it did.
So yeah,
but point of the matter is fuel filters, spark plugs. Goddamn, trying to find spark plugs over there is a mission and a half. Like you just can't.
You sort of take for granted how easy it is to get that stuff here.
Yeah, like. You want an oil filter for R32, like when you're buying your oil and they're like, oh no, we don't have them, sorry. And you're like, what? You're like, so what do I do? And they're like, don't know. Like, okay. And this is all through broken English, and they're calling up their mate at another store who speaks a little bit of English. And he's just like, no, we don't do them. Oh, okay. Thanks,
man.
And you're like, all right, guess I'm not changing my oil filter this trip. But seriously, that's what it comes down to. Like, bring your oil filter, fuel filter, spark plugs, gaskets. You cannot buy gaskets. Like, get inlet manifold gaskets, get exhaust and turbo manifold gaskets, get turbo studs, manifold studs. You'll break them when you pull them off, and have fun if you got an SR, because you got to pull the turbo off and the manifold off and everything and the dump just to change any gasket in that. It's a terrible time, and anyone who's done one will know. And yeah, bring tie rods, tie rod ends.
Wait, tie rods and rack ends, come on. Get right.
It's the same thing.
No, it is not the same thing.
It is. Tie rods are rack ends.
No, tie rod's the end. Rack
no,
ends
the tie rod end is the end. The tie rod end goes on the tie rod. Anyway, bring them. If you can fit it in your luggage, like weight-wise, bring arms. You know,
well, yeah, you look at it. A lot of aftermarket arms are fairly easy to get in Australia.
But
like
you can't get them over there unless you buy them
but that's what I'm
from
saying,
Yahoo
like,
and wait 2 days.
GK Tech stuff. I know people have mixed opinions on them. I run it, don't have an issue, but they're not too heavy, and you can put them in your bag. Yep. They come in a nice box. It's just...
Yep. Or on your way up, stop at some up garages and stock up on arms or turbos or anything that you can think that you might break.
Yeah, high wear parts.
You know. If you rock into an up garage on your way and you've got an R32 with an RB20 like me, and they've got an RB20 turbo, a brand new RB20 clutch, and maybe an axle, buy it. Don't even think about it. Just buy it and put it in your car when you leave, and it's a spare for next time if you don't use it, because you're bound to use it one day.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is you can leave all your spares with your car. You don't have to bring it once unless you use it. But if you use it, make sure that you replace it when you come back next time. Write a list before you leave of what else you need to bring, which I totally forgot to last time I was there. But write a list for everything that you want to bring on your next trip. You know, especially tools wise. My tools did get stolen out of my car in the big thing that went down like a couple of years ago now, where a whole heap of stuff got stolen out of cars. I lost like $500 worth of tools that I had over there, and I'm hoping that it doesn't happen again. But be prepared that even if you did have stuff in there last time that you went, there's a high chance, or at least a moderate chance, that it's not going to be there when you get there the second trip. And that's going to kill you if it's parts you need or tools you need.
Yeah.
Because there's basically nothing near the track that's decent that sells tools or parts. So there's a little up garage, and that's about it. Yeah, that's all I've got on tools and parts.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Come prepared.
Being prepared.
Over prepared. just absolutely fill your baggage on your way over.
Yeah, it's sort of like, it's sort of like if you're going drifting anyway, like where you live, you always bring sort of more than you need to.
Yep.
It's the same concept, I guess.
Yep.
So, all right, well, moving on from tools and stuff, let's look at like general pricing, because if you're planning to and you've got your tools and everything, what are you in for? I guess like, let's say you go off Matsuri time, like you did the last trip you did. You went before Matsuri, didn't you? Or did you go after?
During. All my trips have been during.
Oh, okay. I thought you went like a week before and then you did Matsuri.
Yeah, so I did that on my first 2 trips.
Yeah.
And then on my latest trip and my next trip, get there like 2 days before Matsuri and then leave like a week after Matsuri. So
let's talk about like general admission costs and what you're looking for.
Okay, so there's a couple of different options because you have multiple different costs for different tracks at Ebisu. So for people that don't know, there's 5 or 7 tracks at Ebisu. One of the 2 I can never remember.
I think it's 7, but only 5
yeah,
are
but I think
drifted
it's
on.
7 if you include the skid pans. Anyway, there's the price that doesn't include Minami, so first of all, you've got your main tracks: North Course, School Course, Toge Course. Did I say North Course?
Yes, you did. Yep.
Minami. And the Kurukuru Land, which is the skid pan.
But they don't do that now, do they?
The Kurukuru Land is the skid pan. You don't do the
but they
big
don't
drift course that's near the elephants. That's the one you can't do anymore.
I thought the big flat one where they used to do all the practice days, that's near where the elephants are now.
Yeah.
Isn't it? They don't open that.
No, that's gone. But that's not Kurukuru Land.
Which one's
That's like skid pan land.
Oh, yep. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about now. Yeah, that's like in the trees. Yep. I remember.
It's just this little skid pad. There's 2 little skid pads next to each other.
Why didn't they move the elephants there? The other one was cool.
Anyway. Poor elephants. There's a zoo at Ebisu, if you were wondering. And yeah, so you've got those 5 tracks, but then you have another 2 tracks, which is the east and west. Nishi and Higashi, they're called. They're the 2 fast tracks that you're not allowed passengers on. They are only open for drifting on Matsuri weekends. That is the only time you can go drifting on those 2 tracks, and they're the best tracks at Ebisu. But they're the only 2 times, and it's the only reason I go to Matsuris is because of those. And the atmosphere. But if you want to do North Course, School Course, Toge, and Kurukuru Land, it's cheaper by like $20 a day than doing Minami as well. But if it's your first time to Ebisu, or even if it's not, and you got a new car or you haven't been back in a while, buy on your first day Minami. Minami is the best track to learn on at Ebisu. Hands down. Everyone freaks out because it's got the jump. Just don't do the jump. The rest of it is the most well-kept track at Ebisu by far, and it's the widest. And you can practice to your heart's content without ever getting close to a wall, so long as you're not doing the jump. So that's a track to learn on, and you wouldn't think so. You wouldn't think that the track with the jump is considered one of the hardest tracks in the world, the most unforgiving tracks in the world is the number 1 track to learn on.
No, but, but it makes sense. Yeah,
I didn't go on Ebisu my whole first trip, and for people that don't know, I'd never even pulled handbrake or done a drift before I went to Ebisu for the first time, and I was too scared to go on Minami. But on my second trip, I decided, all right, I'm doing Minami, and I'm like, I'm not doing the jump. Second lap, I was doing the jump. But anyway, it was so good. I was like, why didn't I go on this track on my first trip? Like, why was I so scared of this? If I'm not doing the jump, it's the best learning track ever. Like, I should have just stayed on that track all day for the whole week. But instead, I was on Toge course, probably the most dangerous course on there. That's what I learnt on. I learnt on Toge course. by
crazy,
chasing my mate Steve Pembury in his S13, who won the DCA
Yeah.
and got sent to Europe. Like, way better driver than me, and I'm just following him trying to mimic what he does on Toge course for
Doing
7
the whole
days.
spaghetti arm.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Then hop in the car and be like, "You're doing this wrong. You're doing that wrong." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Yeah. My girlfriend was too scared at the time. My girlfriend at the time was too scared to go in the car with me at first because I didn't know what I was doing.
I'd be too scared to get in the car with you.
She was okay midway through, but by the end of the trip, she was too scared to get back in the car because I kind of knew what I was doing, but I had the confidence that I thought I knew what I was doing. So,
so it kind of makes it
at the
worse.
start and at the end of the trip, she wouldn't come in the car with me. But yeah.
Fair call.
Moral of the story is, don't learn on Toge. It's unforgiving as hell. School course, ignore the name. It's not a school course. It will school you. Like, it has drop-offs by like this, which if you're listening audio only is about 30 centimeters or a foot. So don't come off the edge of school course because that's where you'll need tie rods and tie rod ends that you brought.
And suspension arms and
suspension
LCAs
arms and knuckles and a new car because you bent the chassis.
Pretty much.
Like, it is rough. And so is North Course, but they've done a little bit to North Course. It's not as bad as it used to be, but it's still every track in Japan is unforgiving. Like, it can be the most humble looking track ever, and it is unforgiving the moment you drop a wheel. Like, don't drop a wheel. That's the biggest thing about every track in Japan. Don't drop a wheel. No dirt drops. It's not Australia. So unless you're in an 8.6 and I went in this crazy 8.6 and he was just dirt dropping everything. And I'm like, you're nuts. Like,
my axle's great. You got no suspension arms.
Yeah, well, you just bend the whole rear axle.
Bend the rear axle.
And then tear off the bloody trailing arm mounts. But anyway.
Moving on. Anyway, so cost of admission with the Minami.
So it's cheaper. I think it's 90 or 9.
Yeah, it was 9,000.
Yeah, I get confused with my amounts because I think of it. It's $90 American a day for Minami and the other 5 or the other 4 tracks. And it is $60 a day, 60 or 70.
Yeah.
Without doing Minami. But as I said, strongly suggest doing Minami if you're on your first day at least. And you got to times that by like 7, and that's, let's say if you're doing Minami every day, $700 for 7 days. But they have a gold pass.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
So the gold pass is $1,000 American. Let's just say that, because that's really the easiest way to work it. For $1,000 American, you can come back to Ebisu for 12 months. Every day of the year and just pay your $5 insurance registration every day that you come. So if you're planning to go for 10 days on your first trip and say you're thinking about maybe coming back in 6 months, buy the gold pass because you won't even pay track entry.
Yeah.
So it's something to think about. Do up your things on how often you're going per year and stuff like that. You can make it work like really well. Or if you're going for a month straight, I don't know why you would, but if you can afford it, going for a month straight, it's only going to cost you $1,000 for that whole month in the track entries, which is a big saving,
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So, that's as far as track entries go. That's the price. Matsuri is $150 for the weekend, and that's 36 hours straight of drifting. You don't get kicked off at night.
Yeah.
They closed Toge course because Nakamura was there and all of his mates, and they're like, nah.
This is going to get too crazy.
This is going to get way too rowdy. So, G1 is $150, G1 GP. We'll touch a bit on that
we'll
later.
Get to that. So, in terms of other costs that would be surrounding drifting, as in your fuel costs.
Fuel costs, I'd budget $150 a day in fuel.
Yeah, so do you use every day about $150, or is that just keeping a bit extra there in case you do use it?
I'd use between $120 to $150 a day in fuel with an RB20.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
What is it, like 2 tanks of fuel? Or?
Yeah, it's about 2 tanks of fuel a day. 1.5 to 2 tanks of fuel a day. So fuel's pretty expensive over there.
I was like,
and you're buying it at the track. There's service stations at the track, and they're probably, I'd say they're about 130 to 140% of the 100% price that you pay everywhere else.
A little bit more.
They're a little bit more expensive, but they're actually inside Ebisu's complex is 2 service stations.
Yeah, I guess that makes it a lot easier.
And there's another one out the front.
Your car isn't regoed. Unless you're feeling really brave.
Yeah. Well, and okay, another thing. If you're like, oh, well, I'm going to bring jerry cans with me. Nope. Because Japan has a rule that you need steel jerry cans. You can't use plastic jerry cans for petrol. You can only use plastic ones for diesel. And they will not fill up your plastic cans, as I found out. So you can just throw those plastic cans that you bought from the Bunnings over there in the bin and pay the $80 for a steel can that's only 15 litres.
Ooh.
Yeah. And Ebisu does run out of fuel sometimes on a Matsuri weekend.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So you have to borrow someone's like Power Vehicles fuel can. Another big thing I'm going to say is unless you're going through like a paid trip through like
a third party.
Yeah, a third party. You can't do Ebisu on your own unless you speak fluent Japanese and live there. Like, or you've been back there multiple times and you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Go through Power Vehicles is pretty much all I can say. Go through Power Vehicles.
100%. I think
and they don't rent cars, you got to buy one. So average car price.
We'll get to cars in a bit.
Yeah.
So tires. Do you buy your tires at the track or do you buy them elsewhere?
I buy them all at the track through Power Vehicles to support them. And they keep them all for you. You don't have to keep them in your car or anything like that. And yeah, I go through about 30 tires in a week on average, I would say, which it works out to be about 3 pairs of tires a day.
Which considering
on dry days, if it rains, halve that or less, so
yeah.
But the surface is pretty unforgiving there. They have resurfaced some of North Course, but that's about it. Yeah. And they're fast tracks, so Higashi and Nishi, especially East, which is Higashi, that's a 4th gear track, and like I'm blazing through tires in about 10 to 15 minutes, like a pair. So
because you're also in a hot lap situation, so
you're hot lapping 4th gear this whole track, like
your
temperature gauge
down.
Is off the mark by the time you hop off the track, you know, like but it's insane fun, but yeah, you got to pay for it.
Yeah. So what size tire do you use actually over there?
Oh, it's a 205 60/16 or something like that. Yeah, it's a standard R32 16-inch tire.
Yeah, true. And how much do you pay essentially for those?
I think they're about $70 to $75 Australian per tire.
Yeah.
So. About 65 American.
Yeah, so pretty.
It's a little bit. It's about like 15%, I guess, more than what I pay here. Yeah, but I get a pretty damn good deal here.
You're buying Kenders, which in Australia are definitely a lot more expensive.
They're a damn good tire, the Kenders. They last.
Yeah, I've heard so many good things about them.
They last evenly. Like, they don't, like, just drop off grip.
Yeah,
so.
I'm thinking about trying to order some through work, but they're a little bit more harder to find than other things. So
don't forget to speak into that mic.
Don't worry, I'm getting there. Marking things off. So yeah, is that it for tires, more or less?
That's it for tires. Yeah. Obviously, if you're running bigger power and 18s, your tire price is going to be well above what I am paying for 16s, and you may or may not use more tires depending on power, grip level, pressures, whether it rains in your trip. Like that's just a thing you have to come over prepared for. Get more than you need. generally Power Vehicles is pretty good, and will just, if you don't use the tires, cross them off or buy them back at like 80%. So they're pretty good about it. I haven't had a drama with that before on a rainy trip. So
True.
Yeah.
Fitting tires.
Fitting tires.
Is there someone
2
that
to 3
does
tire
it?
machines at Power Vehicles. You got to learn how to fit it yourself. There's always someone there to teach you.
Oh, that's all right then.
Or
It's not very hard.
then it's not going to be someone from Power Vehicles. It'll just be someone else. This is on a Matsuri week though.
Just throw the tire at the machine, you'll be fine.
Yeah, but you learn quick. It's easy to fit tires but that's another big reason to not have 18s and 19s.
18s are easy to fit.
Not over there on big wheels and stuff though. Like,
no, you just lube it up.
They
and
got
you
those
smack
weird.
it.
They got those weird lips, and you got to remember, I can bead my tires with just a normal. I can bead my tires with my 12-volt cigarette lighter thing. You got to bead blast all the 18s over there.
What are you running, like 10s? I can fit. I run
No,
9.5
I've
Gs
seen
and just like
everyone has
225.
to. No, honestly, everyone has to bead blast their wheels over
that's
there.
concerning.
But you got to remember, you're dealing with amateurs. You're a tire fitter, dude. Like, these are people who are learning how to fit a tire there, and they're struggling there with 18s and 19s, like on big wheels.
There's a trick to it, but
there's tricks to it, But if you're an amateur,
maybe
I
go
would
talk to a
suggest get
tire
like
shop
16s or
to
17s.
show you straight up. That'd be good.
Yeah, try to learn how to fit
learn a little
tires
bit
before
beforehand.
you go, because you do have to fit them yourself.
Yeah, that'd be. Is it
And know how to
handy
use
know?
the bead blaster.
Fill it with lube.
And just remember, everyone else is going to want to use that tire machine at once, and that bead blaster at once, and that pressure at once. That's why you get that little tire pump, the little 12-volt one. And that's why I suggest running 16s or 17s or a stock rim, or something like relatively stock style rim. Don't get some crazy mishmash.
Don't
10-inch
get 10 Gs.
wide,
Don't get 10 Gs.
because they're just so hard to fit tires to, and that's downtime. Like, you're there to drive. You're not there to look super pretty. You're not at final bout. You're at Matsuri in a friggin' missile. There's a difference.
No, for sure. So, generally speaking, 90% of everyone listening is not going to have a car. So, what would we be looking at if we wanted to buy, say, something on par with your 32, having, the basic mods, but nothing too crazy?
I would say your minimum price to buy a car through Power Vehicles these days is about 7,000 to 7,500 Australian minimum. If you're buying a car through Power Vehicles, remember that if you're buying a car from someone else, unless it was originally bought through Power Vehicles, you can't use Power Vehicles support. The car had to originally have come through Power Vehicles, and if you are buying a car off someone who it did come through from Power Vehicles and it is eligible for Power Vehicles support, it's still another $1,000 American on top of the price of the car to not have bought it through Power Vehicles, and it's been through multiple Matsuris.
Yeah.
And you don't know how it's been treated. But you don't know how any car's been treated, but you know that thing's been thrashed. So,
100%.
I'd suggest just buying a car through Power Vehicles if it was me doing it all again. And I'd buy a 350Z. They're cheap. They're non-turbo, so they don't break. They got strong gearboxes, good brakes, good clutch, good motor.
Good axles.
Spares are everywhere. Strip that thing out. It's got enough power for Ebisu by far.
Oh.
By far.
If they were
The track
cheaper in
size
Australia,
are nothing
I'd get them.
like tracks in America or Australia.
Yeah.
They're super tight, typical Japanese track. You can do it in a 16-valve 8.6 and make it look like you got 300 horsepower in a 150 horsepower 8.6. Buy a 350Z. I'm surprised that I've never seen one there.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
I think it's
so
a lot of
cheap
people
in Japan.
Have the whole 1J or RB.
Buy one of those 4-door V35s. They're so cheap.
I really want one.
Yeah.
I really want one.
Anyway, that's my suggestion for people. Keep it simple though. If you're going over there and you're buying a JSX 100 with 600 horsepower, you're going to go through about 100 tires in a week.
Oh, easy. Yes, that's Simple
it's all
cars
relevant. Costs
yeah.
are all relevant. And if it breaks, if your car has, say it's got an aftermarket Trust Turbo, okay? Good luck finding another one when it blows up. Or
And when it blows up and you replace
stolen,
it, and then you got to do a new
stolen,
tune.
like it did for some people, losing their aftermarket ECUs and stuff that they cannot get. Yeah. So,
and plus, if it goes missing, you got to get retuned. It's
blah,
just
blah, 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 blah. Standard cars, boost up. That's the Japanese way. Unless you're going over for a comp, and you're not going to store a comp car at Ebisu.
No.
So, unless it's like paying super amount of money to store it in a container or something with power vehicles.
Oh, that's something I always missed. How much is it to store your car there?
Store your cars, I think it's about 50 American a month.
That's actually not too bad.
It's not too bad.
That's actually,
out
that's
in the
a
snow.
very fair.
It's out in the weather.
Yeah,
my car's starting to rust. That's a big issue that I'm having with it at the moment. Is it's starting to rust.
Yeah,
and there's nothing I can do about it. Anyway.
Yeah, but at least you have somewhere to put it. And it's not super out of anyone's budget to be out of budget $50 a month to keep your car there.
No,
and if it's something that's sort of beaten up already,
has like a tab, so you know, like it's pretty much to the value of your car. That's kind of how it works.
Yeah, sweet. Repairing cars.
Well, if you go in November, going to be repairing it in probably like solid snow-capped mountain wind with ambient temps that are on your phone saying 3 degrees and real temps being around -3 degrees. And you can see snow falling around you, like actual snowflakes. 10. The first time I've ever seen snowflakes fall was as I was changing my tires one time. And I'm like, oh crap, it's snowing. I'm glad I'm not under my car doing a clutch. Like, so yeah, don't break your car. I run super high tire pressures because I'd rather burn through tires than clutches or other components on my car. And I just play it smart and safe by that. It's up to you if you don't want to do that. Like I run 70 PSI to 75 PSI in my rears. I got no grip in the back. I'm still faster than most JZX 100s there, just from driving style rather than physical mechanical grip. And because I know the tracks and I know the car's limits. I don't find it go through overly much more tires than other people generally. I would go through more, but other cars have a lot more power than me, so it kind of offsets it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just be smart about it. Regular maintenance, not just snapping gears and doing foot-ons. There's no foot-ons at Ebisu, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, don't be stupid rough with
mechanical
your car.
sympathy is a big one over there. Like, just don't be dumb. Don't be dumb.
Enough. Well, we've also got, we wrote down here car requirements. This comes down to a fair bit of like the whole missile cars,
like the missile car requirements. Yep, I know what you mean. Yes,
I have seen this pop up quite a few times.
Yeah, so they changed all the rules when they changed it with the helmets. It's pretty much like missile cars are on their way out there. Don't have like a car that's like triangle in the rear, and the doors are bashed in and stuff like that. It's got to look relatively presentable, purely from a safety point, because you don't, once a car crumples, it can't crumple again. So yeah, that's the whole reason. You can reshell your car and stuff like that, worst case. Yeah, but again, that's time out of your trip. That's time limited. Your trip is time limited.
So yeah, basically, don't aim to like ruin your car anymore. It's not a thing at Ebisu. Like people that were,
and we're back because I was a total rookie and I didn't even set this to output audio on our video. Did anyone post any?
No one commented on it.
No one commented. I saw a few people watching and then they stopped watching and I'm like, oh, that's a bit weird.
Sort of makes sense now.
Yeah.
Oh well.
What a screw up.
Amateur out here, you know.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll upload a video to Facebook. It's going to take me friggin' forever. But anyway.
Oh well.
back into it.
Back into it. What were we talking about?
I have no idea.
Don't crash your car at Ebisu on
Oh
purpose
yeah, just
anymore.
don't crash your car. You know,
Like,
I'm sick of seeing people crash their cars on purpose.
Yeah, it's like, I've seen videos from back when foreigners started coming to Ebisu,
Yep.
and it was just all the rage to smack your car into a wall. And
Yeah.
nobody wants to see that. I don't
Yep.
want to see it. Travelers want to see it. Nobody wants to see it. It ruins good cars. And
Yep.
as I don't know, I guess cars become less and less available
Yeah.
because they're all like 30 years old now,
Yeah.
and there isn't much in the way of new cars that have come out at rear-wheel drive and
Yeah.
ready to drift, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
I just thought I can't actually even get the video from the Facebook Live and YouTube because I'd have to download that.
yeah, you'll probably have to download it off YouTube and then piece it together.
Oh, it might have saved a local recording. Anyway, let's continue.
Either or, it's going to be a weird episode.
Yeah.
Keep going. So where were we at? Oh, yeah. So G1 GP happens. Is it just after Matsuri or is it just before?
It is the Friday before.
So
Yeah.
run us through with that. You actually competed then when you went there your first year in G1, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tell us a bit about what that involves and
Um,
all that.
It was super scary because it was my first week of drifting, and I'd only been drifting like about 3 to 4 days before the G1 event. I hadn't even put a car in third gear drifting yet, and I'm competing up against like 500, 600 horsepower JZXs. So it was scary, but awesome event though. Like, you are literally driving against some of the world's best every time in that event. And it pushed me, like it really did push me, and it gave me a taste of competition drifting that I've decided that I never want to do again. And I'd do a G1. I would never enter a proper competition.
Yeah.
It's too stressful. I couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
Got to me. I'd do G1 for fun and to see where I'm at compared to other drivers. My car's not even competitive in G1 anymore, so I wouldn't even bother unless I got a new car. But other than that, like, if you're confident in your car, G1's totally worth doing. And if you've never done a competition before, G1 is 100% worth doing. So, but yeah, awesome event though. It's good to watch. Heaps of people just stop driving for the day to watch it. That's
True.
how good it is. So, yeah.
No, it sounds rad. So, do we talk about Matsuri, or does you think everybody really knows?
The only difference with Matsuri is there's heaps of Japanese there, and they're all awesome and way better than all of the non-Japanese people that are there, just because they're cool, and you can't talk to them because you don't know Japanese, so you just try Google Translate and lots
Hope for
of
the best.
pointing and making up katakana words. So it's good fun.
Yeah.
Or you have a friend like Jay who speaks Japanese and he just does all the translating for you.
I
So.
like option 2. I like option 2.
I don't know. Option 1's just as fun.
Yeah, been there. That is good fun.
And other than that, the only other difference with Matsuri is you get to drive the fast tracks.
Yeah.
And there's like
Nighttime
Daigo
drifting.
will turn up, Naoki will turn up, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cool
Shinji
shit like
and
that.
His wife and everyone.
Yeah.
That'd be a
it's
cool
good
experience.
fun.
I'd love to drive with those guys.
Yeah. Shinji Minowa comes too.
Shinji, number one guy. What a dude.
What a dude.
What a dude. All right. So, is there anything more you can think of that we should touch on track side of things or Ebisu side of things, really? Some stuff to remember, maybe just like little off-side things that you'd overthink if you hadn't
Learn
really
as much
been there.
Japanese as you can. You have to know hellos, thank yous, and stuff like that. Remember that Japanese English is American English. So if you're at your motel looking for a washing machine, they have no idea what a washing machine is. But if you say I think it was laundry or something like that, they're like, oh, clothes washing. And you're like, yeah.
Yes.
And if you go to Up Garage, know how to speak katakana because you don't have to know how to read it. You just don't have to know how to speak it. Because katakana is the English translated words for Japanese. For instance, spark plug and hose clamps. You say spark plug or hose clamp, they're going to be like, huh? Or, yeah?
What's this white guy want?
And you're like, sparku pluggu, hoso clampo. And they're like, oh, sparku pluggu. And you're like... It's actually true, though.
Oh,
like,
wow.
you have to speak in that katakana accent. They have no idea what you're saying.
True.
So, if you just say anything to do with the car in a Japanese, like, you'll think that you sound racist as you're doing it. But, like, for your first times doing it, and you'll be, like, so scared to do it. But do it, because I have no idea what the hell you're talking about unless you do. So, like, filteru and random stuff like that. Just yeah.
Wow.
Just add oo or o to everything and you're sweet. Like, just do that. But learn as much Japanese as you can. It helps you so much. Like, it's so much. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, accommodation.
There's stuff. So, an hour either side of the track is Fukushima City and Koriyama. And 15 minutes from the track is Nihonmatsu. All the hotels in Nihonmatsu, if you're going in Matsuri time or peak time, will be booked out. Simple. Fukushima and Koriyama, book early. You won't find stuff if you just randomly rock up. Not for a week anyway. They won't have one room set aside for a week for someone. Book stuff early. Booking.com. Just do that. That's as easy. I stayed at like the Richmond Hotel in Matsu. Yeah.
What was the general cost on that? I've heard that hotels are very expensive.
Normal prices, like $100 a night, $80 to $100 a night. For a double bed. Double beds are super small in Japan. Get the biggest bed you can because double bed can't fit a person who's 6 foot. So your feet like hang like a foot off the edge. So yeah,
sucks to be you, man.
Yeah. So but personally, I actually take a camper van. Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
Japan campers. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty smart idea.
Yeah, it's cool.
I like it.
That goes straight on into rental cars.
Yeah, that comes into rental cars.
Yeah.
There.
So rental cars, hire one at the airport and or pick it up at the airport and go from there. Super easy to drive in Japan if you're not coming from America.
Yeah.
If you're coming from Australia or New Zealand or England. Yeah. It's super easy to drive in Japan because all our side of the road, the real side of the road.
The correct
side of the road.
I say that I learnt in Germany and the first day driving back in Australia was hopeless.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's just all normal for us, opposite for Americans.
Yeah.
You don't have to go too crazy on the insurances over in Japan because all the rental cars come with a standard insurance anyway.
Mint.
Yep.
That's what you want. Getting to Ebisu without getting lost.
So you got two options. The tolls are super expensive, like super expensive. If it's just you by yourself, take the non-toll roads, but take it at night and you won't see anything, which is the whole part of the trip. You see so much stuff on your way up, but you don't see anything on your way up if you go at night. But you miss all the traffic.
Yeah.
And if you go on the toll roads, you'll be like, that looks cool. And then it's gone. And never see it again.
And you spent a lot of money on tolls.
Yeah, and you spent a lot of money on tolls. But you can get there, I think it's like a few hours, like maybe like 3 or 4 hours. It's something like that. And then double that for non-toll.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, just double it for non-toll. In non-peak time. In peak time, triple it. So, yeah. Because it's all 50, like you are literally driving like 350 kilometers at 50 k's an hour if you go non-toll.
Okay, yeah.
Through traffic lights.
That makes sense,
Yeah, so it takes a long ass time. And if you're going at night, you just smash through all of the traffic lights. But during the day, or peak hour, good luck. But yeah, I mean, my first trip we went toll. Second trip, we just went non-toll.
Yeah, true.
Yep. Obviously, if you're going toll though, if you got more than one person coming with you, you can split that toll price, so it comes cheaper.
Yeah,
and more affordable.
More effective, I guess. Yeah, the more people you bring.
Yeah.
Well, that pretty much wraps up everything we've got to talk about.
Yeah, well, the only other thing that I remembered here was this part here.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Buyback and exporting of your car in Japan.
So when you buy a car from Power Vehicles, they can export it, keep it, and you put it in paper storage. You can sell it back to them. You can dismantle it and send it back to you, like for the motor or whatever. Yeah. They do all that.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what they charge.
Yeah, that was like buybacks like between
the buyback?
60 to...
Nah, you'll get... So if your car comes back in exactly the same condition as what it was when you bought it from them, they'll give you 65%.
Yeah. Then minus more for every bit of damage you did.
Yep. I've never sold a car back, so I don't know how reasonable it is, but, they're pretty reasonable people, so I don't expect it to be too bad, but they always suggest they want you to keep the car because they want you to come back.
Yeah, exactly.
So keep the car and come back.
General plan, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's about all I got to say about Ebisu. Like, there's a lot of information to detail more pricing stuff because I'll give people a total
let's give
price.
A rundown now of like the total average that you have.
My first trip and everyone's first trip will be super expensive. My first trip was about $13,000 plus the car. It's about 20 grand. And that's what everyone that you speak to who's genuinely properly done up prices current, not talking 3 to 5 years ago, prices of now, your first trip will cost you 20 grand. Don't even bother unless you are thinking about spending $20,000 on a week and a half long holiday. Don't even think about it unless you got 20 grand to spend. Come with more money than you need because you never know what's going to happen. And because you're time limited, you don't want to be money limited.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and everything costs money. You can get your car repaired by someone and they'll just pick your car up on a tow truck and take it away and have it back to you the next day repaired. But that costs money. So, yeah, you don't want to be money limited. Yeah. My previous trips, I've probably knocked off about 2 to 3 grand off that overall price just from knowing what I need and already having stuff there, kind of thing. Yeah, so, but it costs a lot.
After you guess, like once you've bought your car, I guess budget. What do you say, like about $10,000?
If you bring about 10 grand with your Australian, you'll do 5 to 7 days. Yeah, pushing the 7-day mark though.
No big issues provided.
Providing no big issues and also providing like say you're planning it to have a couple of rainy days in that time.
Yeah.
And it's just sunshine the whole time. And that's the other thing, weather. Don't go in summer. Just don't do it. It's 40 degrees and 100% humidity in summer at Ebisu.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. And here's another one I almost forgot to mention. The May Matsuris in Golden Week. Don't go to Japan in Golden Week because everything's closed.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Everything's closed. So that's the whole reason the Matsuri's on is because it's a holiday. And that Matsuri's on during the week. It's not all weekend Matsuri.
True.
So be prepared for that if you go in the May one. Do your research about Golden Week. Find out what's still going to be open because more than likely up garages are going to be shut. So good luck with that.
No.
Then you're really screwed. So I go in November. I think it's the safest bet for a Matsuri. But remember that Power Vehicles is open all the time. If you're not interested in doing Higashi and Nishi, and you just want to go over there and do Minami, Toge, and North Course, which if it's your first trip, that's enough.
Oh.
Like, you can go in non-Matsuri weeks. You'll have so much more time with Power Vehicles to prep your car. You'll be able to probably put it up on the hoist in their shed and go over it properly. They'll be able to repair it for you when in Matsuri times they can't. They're like, go away, we're too busy.
Yeah.
And yeah, like just I'd do your first trip in a non-Matsuri week. If I was planning to go back twice. If I'm only going there once, do the Matsuri the first time because it's yeah. Or do what I do and come only a couple of days before Matsuri and then do the week after because not many people do the week after.
Yeah. And
it's a lot chiller. There's just got the dude from Lone Star there and all of his crew and a few other stragglers. Like, and that was awesome. So, yeah. And that's a lot tighter, like groups of people then, you know, and you really get to hang out with people more. But you'll meet people from all over the world coming to Ebisu, you know, like I've met so many awesome people. Yeah, so many awesome people, like, just through Ebisu. So, yeah, it's an experience.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm keen to
It's worth the 20 grand. That's why I'm going back for a fourth time to spend more money. Like, I wouldn't do it if it wasn't worth it, you know?
No, definitely.
So, yeah. I think that's about it. What a shithouse episode in the regards to we cannot do an episode without some kind of issue. You know, whether it's
it wouldn't be the Drift Podcast.
Ty's phone shutting down, us having no audio, or just something random happening. But anyway, it is what it is. It'll be out on all of the podcasting things. If you want to watch us, I will upload the video onto Facebook and YouTube, and next time hopefully we don't get another
issue like this. Oh well, what can you do?
And you know what, if I'd gone through and set up the live comments on Facebook and YouTube, we probably would have actually been able to see someone saying, hey, you got no audio. We've probably been able to fix it early on, but we didn't want to rush trying to set that up. Anyway,
next time
all right guys, thanks for